with the insistent killings and the activities of bandits, Fulani herdsmen, people of Hausa Fulani extraction, one would wonder why they have not been kept in prison, why punitive measures have not been applied to them. Well, as you know that presently the Senate, a member of the Senate, and definitely probably is being sponsored somehow, somewhere, probably from the presidency. I wouldn't know. But what I know is that Buhari has said if the fight against Boko Haram, which is terrorism, is a fight against the North. Probably said that as to score political points, or that is his belief. One would not know, as at that time he was scrambling and struggling to become president again, as he was head of state previously when military were dictating and doing whatever they want. And that is still the same thing as we've had two-time military dictators become president. And I don't know if they were ever democratic. Now, a lot of things happen in Benue State, Jos, and a lot of places all over the nation, the Federation. Now, I'm not trying to say crime does not exist. Crime exists in the South. We have criminals in the South. But right now, the menace of Hausa Fulani, bandits, criminals, cattle rustlers, terrorists is just on the high rise. Why? That is because an Hausa Fulani president is here at the moment, Major General Muhammadu Buhari, and he has not spoken extensively. He has not held his ground, stood his ground. He has not spoken to let them know that I am from your part. Does not mean I'm going to entertain or accept your activities and action. Now, very terrible things happened in Ugeli, in Delta State North local government area, and it was so terrible. Community leaders have placed a ban on the sale and consumption of cow meat in that community. Why? Because not less than 10 people were killed and buried in a shallow grave following an attack by suspected gun-wielding herdsmen. And some might say, how are you sure it's the Hausa Fulanis that actually killed those people? What if some troublemakers that want to make sure that they disgrace Buhari, or some people who decided to kill and they said, all right, you know what? We are going to put this on Hausa Fulani, since the story song that we've heard over time is Hausa Fulani, Hausa Fulani. But whatever it is crime, and no one should lose their life for whatever reasons. Now, 10 people were killed. That is the story. Buried in a shallow grave. And they claim that this attack came as a result of Hausa Fulani. Now, question is this. Were there any reports when these gun-wielding terrorists, I don't want to call them Hausa Fulani bandits or herdsmen, terrorists, that's just what it is, when they invaded the farm? What about this? Now, there is a lot of big outcry in community where this happened, as wives and children have been rendered automatically widows and orphans. Their parents went to the farm in the hope of returning to their families, but unfortunately, that is not the case, as they are not coming back anymore. There is no support for those children. There is no support for those women. That is the end of it. So when you see all of this, it's time for you to take your life. Very important. That's just what it is, because government is not going to do anything about it. If one of those top politician children, any of their wards, or they themselves were kidnapped, or any of this happens to them, you will see how swift the Nigerian police will act. You will see how efficient the military could be, at that time. But when it's just the people they call ordinary citizens, statistics, they care less about it. In fact, the president will not even visit. That's just what it is. Now, the Nigerian Deputy Senate President Ovie Omoagege visited the area where this happened and sympathized with them. They have suffered so much misfortune. How can able-bodied men just go off like that? We've heard cases of women too. Now, some say, like I said, that some criminals in the South hide under the cloak of and the propaganda of Hausa Fulani to commit crime. Yes, that is possible. We have to be very pragmatic here. We have to be, is either your objective or subjective. We have to put things right. That yes, there's a possibility of people hiding, but we know that the menace of Hausa Fulani is just too much. It's just too much. Why? Because the president is not speaking. He has pampered them, encouraged them. In fact, they are raising up a bill to help pamper more terrorists. This is the reason why these people will act without care. They say, after all, if we are arrested, they are going to give us their money too. and pampers and give us juice. You need to see the pictures of those terrorists giving juice and giving water, giving whatever they want. In fact, they say Showore said it. They said they are giving all the best of whatever you can. In fact, they are not in prison. They are not in prison. But people like Showore, people like Mazen Nnamdi Kanu saying enough is enough. They don't want that kind of people. They want terrorists. In fact, they said that terrorists can become president of Nigeria. If you are smart, it's time for you to work towards breaking the country apart. If a military general can say a terrorist, if they leave their arms and ammunition, they can become president. You know what that means? Terrorist president. Wow. Now, the youth president of Robo Progress Union Youth Wing, Efemena Unukoro, had expressed his displeasure over the development. He visited the area in company of his executive members and other youth leaders in Robo land. Reports from the community have it that the community members no longer go to their farms for fear of being massacred by the herdsmen. There is just fear everywhere. They now sit in clusters discussing their fate in the hands of herdsmen and in their own ancestral home. This is just what is happening. I don't know. It's better people come up together and create a security outfit, just like Amotekun that is created in the southwestern part of Nigeria. And they are ready to take this to whatever. You see, I do tell people that the people that determines what will happen in Nigeria is the Yoruba people. It's not going to take long if Yoruba people say they want to break away from Nigeria. They don't need to send any dignity and say, let us leave. If they are stopping, they will say, end of story. And that's it. And that is going to be the end of it. So I wish that the South come together and throw away these differences, tribal differences. Oh, Yoruba, oh, this and that. Most people speak, they talk without understanding. When you say Yoruba, you say this and that. The same Igbo man, the same Biafra man, either from Cross River, all of them with the same Yoruba man, the Bullion Van Gang, they dine and eat together. They care less about tribe. What they understand is the money. They care less about permanent friendship. What they care more about is interest, permanent interest. If my interest and yours align together, we move, notwithstanding tribe. You see them sit down together and laugh, but you sit down there fighting tribe, fighting ethnicity. Oh, it's Yoruba man, and you are suffering. What you have in common is suffering, oppression. They have a common interest, and that is sharing of your money and loot. While you are there, deluding yourself with Yoruba is Yoruba people, and you are suffering. Rather than you opening up your eyes and look at this new generation and look at this new dispensation and see what it is and stop feeding yourself with mediocrity. It is not a Yoruba man, the average Yoruba man. It is not even an average Amajiri boy on the street that is the determining factor of what is happening in the north. It is those few criminals that are the ones that have stolen the past, the present, and they are ready to steal your future. Their children are abroad. You are saying it is the Yoruba man. You think it's the Amajiri boy on the street that have been brainwashed, that doesn't understand what it deserves as a person. You think it's the problem? No. They also are suffering from the activities of their leaders, and also in conjunction with that of the South, that have disenfranchised the people. They've stolen the mandates. There's something they don't do, and you are there fighting each other. What I would say is, for the people of the South, this present generation, come together, stand firm as one. The voice of the people are always louder than those few elites. And say the truth as it is. Stand firm. That is just a solution. That's a solution. So the Delta State Police Command has launched an investigation into the circumstances surrounding the killings and the burial of the dead in the shallow graves. For the meantime, leaders of the community have banned the sale and consumption of cow meat in the community. Anybody found violating the order will have themselves to blame. However, some have said banning of the eating of cow meat will not lead the people anywhere. They said the community people should hold both traditional, political, and religious leaders to account for the role they played in ceding their lands to foreigners. Traditional, political, and religious leaders, those are the people that they claim that they should hold responsible, because these people came in. The governor of the state is aware. Traditional rulers are aware. Once they go to meet the governor gives them some money. Since governors, federal government governor, they pay all these monarchs They keep quiet and they see their land. They play politics. That's just what it is. So it's a terrible thing. At the moment, I'm not saying all monarchs do this, but simply put, many of them collect money from government and they keep quiet. That's it. That's just what it is. So it's time for people in the South to begin to rear their own cows, and let's put an end to this business of cow from the North. That's just it. But they are not ready to do any of this. No one wants to have his own cows. No one wants to have his own farmland. Everyone has left that to the North. That is why people cannot do without the North. If you say you can do without the North, did you eat meat this morning? Yesterday? Day before yesterday? Did it come from the South or from your farm? That is the question. So right now, they are putting a ban. They are putting a ban. They are putting a ban on the consumption of cows. Now, some say Robo is part of Yoruba land. They say they are the children of Oduduwa according to some history. It doesn't matter. All I care about is the South coming together as one and pushing away these saboteurs, these criminal elements we have, and pushing away and standing as one. That's what it is for now. If you are not a member of this channel, let us grow together by you just simply tapping on the subscription button and the red notification icon bell below. It will alert you whenever videos are uploaded. Thanks for stopping by.